Gonna watch this on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, and if you're listening, I should say, if you're listening, not watching, obviously. Anyway, not the point. Somebody's watching this right now and being like, Pierce, why are you wearing a sweater? I woke up today in Phoenix, Arizona. It's 30 degrees. All right, give me a break. All right, it's cold. It's cold here. Okay, and we're back with another Detroit Pierce podcast. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. It's a good year. It's going to work. Everything's going to be different for you, for me, everybody. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great year, 2022. I hear it. I see it. 2022 is going to be fantastic. But we didn't start off really well with the Lions as we get killed by the Seahawks. I posted a video at the very beginning of the game, and I genuinely thought that the Lions were going to have a chance. There's talks about this being the last game for Russell Wilson. This is the last time that they're ever going to be together. DK Metcalf hasn't played well all season. I felt like it was kind of like it was a let-off game for the Seahawks. They're not playing for the playoffs. They're kind of playing for the future. It's the last kind of hurrah. That's kind of what it feels like, right? Russell Wilson was asked if he was even going to play next year. And it kind of just felt like the last hurrah. And I felt like the Lions were going to come out and just be the Lions. Keep it close. Be tough. And they were not. They were not. Let's just call it like it is. They were not close at all. I didn't take a nap. I really wish I would have during the game. It just sucked. It just flat out sucked the whole entire way. And they were never close. And the Seahawks honestly looked like how I thought the Seahawks were going to look. I think I predicted them to finish third in the NFC West. No, I predicted them to be second in the NFC West and at the beginning of the year and make the playoffs. That was kind of the team I thought that they were going to be. You know, flashy, a lot of cool, a lot of fun offensive play calling. DK Metcalf scoring 1 billion touchdowns. Lockett getting the ball in space. Wilson just being Wilson. This was the Seahawks team that I think everybody kind of thought was going to be this team, and they just never were. They just and it's just interesting that they decided to play like that against the Lions. And Lions, look, we're not amazing. Let's just call it like it is. We're not that great. Call it like it is. We're a bad team, but hey, look, we won 2 games, and we just didn't look great today, and I think the Seahawks did. But there are some positives. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is easily one of the best picks in that draft. I think he just showed out so well today. I think that's about it. I think I think somebody tweeted this out. I wish I would remember who would have tweeted this. Somebody tweeted out that Amon-Ra St. Brown. If Amon-Ra St. Brown is the type of draft capital that Brad Holmes is going to draft in the future, we're in very good hands. We're in a really good situation, and I feel very confident about our future. I mean, to get him in the later rounds is very impressive. And I know I tweeted out I'll talk about Michigan here in a little bit. I know I tweeted out that Aiden Hutchinson's overrated. He's not overrated. He's absolutely amazing. Okay, it was just a joke. I was just trying to make you mad, and I succeeded. But yeah, I think that I trust Brad Holmes. I think that it's gonna go well. These kind of days kind of make you go, let's hurry up this process just a little bit more. Let's hurry up that process just a little bit more. And it just sucks. Honestly, it sucks. But other than that, though, what else do you want me to take away from this game? Lions, we got absolutely trounced by a better team, and we were never in it. That's it. That's all I got to say about it. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, yeah. Obviously, we need a quarterback. Obviously, our offensive line's a little beat up. Swift still looks good. Defense looks terrible. So let's just use all of our draft capital for defensive picks and use all of our cap for defensive players. And we'll be a 6-win team next year. I got asked an interesting question at the Fiesta Bowl by a fan that I was sitting next to who's a diehard Bears fan, he said. And he asked me, he was like, what do you think about Dan Campbell? Where do you think his future is as a Lion? And this is the answer I gave, and I don't think I've ever said this on the podcast, but this is the future I see for Dan Campbell. Do I see Dan Campbell winning a Super Bowl? No. Just straight up, I don't. But do I see him coaching here for the next 3 years and getting us to like a 6 or 7 win team and having it be fun football and kind of being the stopgap until that next coach and that next quarterback and that next kind of phase in the Lions history? I do. And I think he's a perfect fit for what we need right now? I do. I 100% think he's absolutely perfect for what the Lions organization needs right now. But we'll see. I think he's perfect for right now, but I don't think he's going to be here 10 years from now, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's do a quick NFL rundown. First, let's cover the top story of the whole entire Sunday. It is clearly Antonio Brown running off completely shirtless, getting, yeah, you've obviously seen the video. I just want to say one thing. It's funny, but it's also really sad to see. It's really, honestly, I hope he gets some help. It's really sad to see what he's turned into. I mean, I remember when a couple years ago he was a top 5 wide receiver easily, and now this is kind of what he is. And there's obviously something going on, and I really hope he gets the help that he needs. And it's just really sad. Honestly, I know everybody cracked a couple jokes, but in all seriousness, a little serious corner here. That's really sad, and I hope he goes out and gets some help, and because that is bad. It is really, really bad. It's hard to explain to your wife what just happened, to be honest with you. It's one of those moments. All right, let's do a quick NFL rundown. Jackson Mahomes and the Chiefs play in the game of the day against the Bengals. Joe Burrow, somebody texted me, they're like, hey, Joe Burrow is obviously a quarterback that's only good when he has good pieces. Not true. Joe Burrow is actually a good quarterback. Jamar Chase is absolutely unbelievable. And I think I predicted the Bengals to at least get close in the playoffs. They've made the turn. That's a good team. That just shows you how quick in the NFL that you can get from a terrible team to a playoff team when you have the right coach and the right quarterback. A lot of things can happen. Gives me hope for the Lions whenever we get our next quarterback. Look, it can happen. They're 10-6. They look really freaking strong. That offense is electric. And the defense can figure it out. Zach Taylor obviously outcoached. That was the best game management I've seen in a long time. Gutsy call on 4th down, going it for it like 3 times. But he figured it out, and that's what matters. Causing a lot of different changes in that AFC. But let's go through all the other games right now. The Packers are playing the Vikings, and it's 30-3. I decided to start recording because the backup quarterback of the Vikings is not going to go to Lambeau Field and score 27 straight points. That's just not going to happen. Bears completely kill the Giants in a nothing game. I'm very glad for Matt Nagy for trying to keep his job. Dolphins, they're good. They're so close. They're so close to figuring it out. I love Tua. I really love Tua, but it's so close. And the Titans are strong, man. Some people are saying that this Titans run without Derrick Henry is proving that Derrick Henry is actually overrated. Some people are saying that. Not me, but some people. Raiders beat the Colts. I thought that was a surprising game. I thought the Colts were hot, and I thought they would kill the Raiders. Boy, was I dead wrong. I was dead wrong. Patriots score 50 points. I didn't know Mac Jones was even capable of scoring 50 points, even against the Jags. Bucks, obviously, I just talked about Antonio Brown, but they come back at the last second. Very impressive. Eagles, that Jalen Hurts is not too bad. Jalen Hurts isn't too bad. Rams come back late against the Ravens. I feel so bad for I feel so bad for Harbaugh. I think he's such a See, honestly, I understand that the Ravens aren't going to make the playoffs, but I still think John Harbaugh deserves Coach of the Year talk because of the fact that he even made them near 500. If they lose next week, they're 8-9. For them to even be near 500 this year with all the injuries that they had, holy crap, was that amazing. Broncos, Chargers, I can't figure them out. I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. 49ers, Texans. Look, this is the first time I actually watched Davis Mills for this year when I was like, is this guy actually legit? Because I've been reading a lot and seeing a lot of his stats. He's an accurate quarterback. He is a very accurate quarterback. I think he's got like a Derek Carr kind of future where he can maybe make the playoffs like once or twice, but never really be that great. Cardinals in a big win against the Cowboys. That's going to be the NFC is so confusing. And then the Saints beating the Panthers 18-10, and now they're 8-8. Going into the last week of the NFL. I put it into the ESPN playoff machine. I made all my predictions, and this is how I have the playoffs, okay? In the AFC, number 1 seed, I have the Tennessee Titans. Number 2 seed, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 3, I have the Bengals. Number 4, I have the Buffalo Bills, and they would play at home against the New England Patriots. You can't tell me how that game would be so fun. That would be such an amazing game. Then in the 6th seed, playing the Cincinnati Bengals, and Cincinnati would be the Colts, which would be so fun because they're kind of like the opposite kind of teams. I think that'd be a fun game. And then you have the Kansas City Chiefs playing at home against the Los Angeles Chargers. That's what I have for the AFC, which would also be a fun game because they're the exact same. And I think the Chiefs would score 800 points. In the NFC, I got the Packers finishing first. I hate it. I hate it so much. 2nd seed, I've got Matt Stafford and the Rams. And people that were texting me that Matt Stafford's overrated, you better watch yourself. They're still winning the Super Bowl this year. You watch. I'm serious. That I understand Stafford looked bad today. I understand that Stafford looked bad the other day. Look out. Look out. Rams are still winning the Super Bowl this year. You watch. I'm dead serious. And but Pierce, you don't want to root for the Rams because our draft pick. Screw you. I don't care about a draft pick. Who cares? I want Stafford to be successful. That's what I want. 3rd seed, I got the Bucks. 4th seed, I got the Cowboys. 5th seed, I got the Cardinals, which sets up Cardinals-Cowboys, which would be a fun game again. Then 6th seed, I got the 49ers. Then they would play the Tampa Bay Bucks. And the Eagles in the 7th seed playing the Rams. And just missing out would be Atlanta and New Orleans. Whew. It'll be fun. Next week's going to be fun. Next week we're going to have a ton of fun. All right. Oh, and by the way, I still have the Rams and the Chiefs. And the Rams beating the Chiefs. I do. All right. We're going to do European Minute right here, right now. Big game today. Let's talk about it. In 3, 2, 1. Chelsea versus Liverpool 2-2 game. Christian Pulisic scoring a great goal. Honestly, that first half was one of the best first halves I've seen in a long time in a soccer game. It was a ton of fun. But because they drew, I think it's going to be a little too out of reach. I think Man City's going to take it. I think they're going to take the Prem. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in Champions League with COVID being back. I don't know if they're going to be able to play. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of money, and soccer's always known for just taking the money and running. But this is really where soccer gets great. This is the time of year, right after Christmas, after Boxing Day. This is when soccer really starts to ramp up and be a lot more interesting. I think Man City wins the Prem, and I still feel good about Chelsea going back-to-back. I really feel good about it. I was talking to a friend last night about F1. F1's going to be crazy this year. It's a crazy offseason because it's so quick. A lot of people picking Ferrari. I'm going to make my F1 prediction later on this season, but I think it's going to be a lot more interesting than usual. And that's been your European Minute. All right, let's go to college football. Let's talk about the Final Four first. First, Bama versus Cincinnati. I told you guys that Cincinnati didn't deserve to be on the field. They proved it. They were never in that game. 13.5 was the lock of the century. Okay? It was the lock of the century. And I think that I just don't think that with that performance that I think it's going to be like 5 or 6. It's going to have to be a deal where it was just like this year, where it was absolutely perfect, where there was no really number, like the number 5 team in the country was Notre Dame, and they didn't even have a coach. Like, I think that if Oklahoma State beats Baylor, I think Oklahoma State gets in over Cincinnati, to be honest with you. But I just don't. I think in order for a Power 5 team to get back in now, they're going to have to expand the playoff, or it's going to have to be absolutely perfect like Cincinnati, where Cincinnati beat Notre Dame and Notre Dame doesn't have a coach. That's kind of how I just don't foresee any Power 5 school ever getting in again. Then Georgia and Michigan. I had a couple of drinks too many. Started tweeting. Started making a lot of people mad about Michigan. Look, Georgia is. I've said it all year. Georgia was my preseason prediction to win the national championship. Georgia's got an absolute life-changing, one of the greatest defenses of all college football history, in my opinion. And Michigan, there's nothing to hang your hat on. Like that Georgia team is unreal. That defense is unreal. The offense, can be suspect at times, but they looked really good against Michigan. And Michigan fans, let me tell you something. As a Michigan hater, as an admitted Michigan hater, it's very scary for me because I know what is coming. Because I know Michigan football is going to be really good here, and it's going to be tough as a Michigan hater. But there's nothing you can't hang your head about that. I mean, Georgia's freaking good, and that defense is absolutely. They're the complete opposite of what LSU was a couple years ago with Joe Burrow being the quarterback. They're just the defensive side of that. I mean I think Georgia wins. I think Georgia wins by 10 points against Alabama, and I think it's because the game is 10-0. To be honest with you, I just think that there's nothing to hang your hat about. Trust Jim Harbaugh. I think he's going to take it on. I think he's going to be very good for the next couple of years. But Michigan fans, you guys get mad very quickly. And it makes me laugh, and it motivates me to keep tweeting. If I want to be honest with you, so little Twitter tip about me. Okay, if you don't like what I'm tweeting, don't tweet at me, because you fuel the fire because you make me laugh, and if I laugh, I know other people laugh, and if you're making fun of me about how crappy my podcast is, that makes me laugh, because you can't hurt my feelings. So I don't know. I'm just giving you tips. That's it. I'm just giving you tips. Okay, but in short, I still think Georgia beats Alabama. I think Michigan's more than fine. I think they're going to be great. And that really is scary for a person that does not like Michigan. Other bowl games, I went to the Fiesta Bowl, Notre Dame versus Oklahoma State. It's a very interesting atmosphere, okay? The Fiesta Bowl is a very, very interesting atmosphere because half the stadium, I would say 75% of the stadium cares about the game. They're Oklahoma State or Notre Dame fans, and they actually care, right? And then there's 25% of the fans that are Phoenicians, right? Phoenicians? And they're all just hungover, and they're just there, and you're just there, right? And maybe you catch one guy that actually cares because he gambled on the game, but 25% of the fans are very quiet because they're just like, what the... This is way too early, right? It is a fascinating game. Honestly, I was at 9 college football games, not a humble brag. That was a great game. That was probably my game of the year. That was the best game I've been to all year. So much fun. The atmosphere is interesting, and it was a great time. Then the Rose Bowl, the best second half in sports. The most beautiful scene in sports, minus maybe the Masters, and Ohio State. Boy, that team's gonna be really freaking good next year. In that Michigan Ohio State's game next year gonna be freaking amazing. I think that might be 1 versus 2 next year. Honestly, that's gonna be a fun game. That ticket's gonna be like $500. To be honest with you, it's gonna be a ton of fun. All right. That's how we're going to end the podcast. Red Wings lose to the Bruins. I don't know. What do you want me to say? And the Pistons beat the Spurs. Sadiq Bey. Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot against the Spurs. It's absolutely gorgeous. But here are my final thoughts. I know that my sign says New Year, say me, why lie? It just makes me laugh. I'm hoping that I could change up some things. So I'm actually lying. I actually want to change some things. I'm hoping that I could do more stuff, maybe collaborate with some other people, try to grow this channel. If you have any suggestions, please reach out. I love hearing from you at every single point. Even if it's very hurtful things, I'll even read hurtful tweets if you want me to, because I always think they're so funny and so creative. You guys are so much funnier than me sometimes. It's kind of hilarious. But I appreciate you guys so much, and I'm super excited for 2022. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting content. Tigers are coming to Arizona. We're talking about going up to Seattle for opening day. It's just, we got a lot of cool stuff, and I'm super excited, especially in this new house. I'm going to trick this office out and try to make it a little bit more content friendly so I can make fun stuff for you guys. So appreciate you guys. Happy New Year. God bless. Go Detroit Sports.